Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, a senior Israeli delegation travels to Qatar to try to finalize the hostage release deal. Islamic Republic of Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei claims despite setback to his axis of evil, Israel will be eradicated. The European Union offers €1 billion to help Syrians in Turkey return to their homeland. A senior Israeli delegation to include IDF, Mossad, and ISA representatives traveled to Qatar last night in an effort to make a final push, hoping to secure a hostage release deal after the Islamist Hamas terror group conceded to Israeli red lines. According to Israeli Defense Minister Israel, the Philadelphia-Netzarim corridors, where IDF troops are deployed to thwart Hamas's freedom of movement, won't constitute an obstacle, as was the case over the past several months. According to Jerusalem's top defense official, Hamas became flexible on this issue. It is important to know that the main reason for Hamas's renewed flexibility, in addition to a number of dramatic events, to include the defeat of the reigning proxy Hezbollah and the fall of the Assad regime, was the unequivocal statement by President-elect Donald Trump that if the hostages are not released prior to January 20, 2025, there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East. As to what he had actually meant by his threat, President Trump stressed the following.
Just one last one on this. When you say that there will be hell to pay if the hostages are not released before January 20th, what does that mean?
Well, they're going to have to determine what that means. But it means it won't be pleasant.
Mr. President,
it's not going to be pleasant, yeah?
President-elect Trump further addressed his phone conversation with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in which Congressman Mike Waltz was expected to assume the role of National Security Advisor and is known to be a staunch proponent of the U.S.-Israel alliance, also took part in the conversation.
I am confident.
On Bibi, we had a very good talk. We discussed what is going to happen, and I'll be very available on January 20th, and we'll see. As you know, I gave warning that if these hostages aren't back home by that date, all hell's going to break out, and very strong. But we generally just discussed, I asked him, where are things? Mike Waltz they're doing a great job, by the way. Everybody is very happy. I think he's doing a fantastic job. But he was very much involved in the call. But it was a recap call more than anything else.
President-elect Trump was further asked on whether he would consider a preemptive strike against the Islamic Republic of Iran, which he is believed to be pushing for the proliferation of nuclear weapons. However, the president-elect refused to answer whether he would or wouldn't strike at the Ayatollah regime, stressing that he could not answer the question. Meanwhile, in Tehran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, in an address to his followers, insisted that his so-called axis of resistance has not collapsed despite the fall of the Assad regime.
با این حرکتی که در سوریه انجام گرفت و با جنایت‌هایی که رژیم صهیونیستی داره انجام میده و جنایت‌هایی که آمریکا داره انجام میده و کمک‌هایی که بعضی دیگه به اینها میکنن، خیال کردن که قضیه مقاومت تمام شد. اینها سخت‌تر اشتباهند.
Ayatollah Khamenei went on to claim that while Israel may consider Hezbollah encircled and utilize it to completely eradicate Iran's terror proxy in Lebanon, he remains convinced that the one to be eradicated in the near future is no other than the state of Israel.
رژیم صهیونیستی به خیال خودش داره خودش رو از طریق سوریه آماده میکنه که نیروهای حزب الله رو به خیال خود محاصره کنه و ریشه‌کن کنه، اما اون کسی که ریشه‌کن خواهد شد اسرائیله.
It is important to highlight that International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi, in an interview while visiting Italy, stressed that the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran
La declinazione tecnica dei principi
military-grade uranium, and as such, the Islamic Republic was rapidly approaching a status of a nuclear state.
politici. Questo è un processo complesso dove
Quote, the philosophy of the original Iran deal can be used as a basis, but the deal itself is no longer needed. Separately, the Yemenite Iranian proxy Ansar Allah, which is dominated by the Houthi tribe, continues to launch near-daily ballistic missile and UAV attacks toward Israel at Tehran's behest.
نفذت القوة الصاروخية عملية عسكرية استهدفت هدفا عسكريا للعدو الإسرائيلي في منطقة يافا المحتلة، وذلك بصاروخ باليستي فرط صوتي نوع فلسطين 2، وقد حققت العملية أهدافها بنجاح بفضل الله.
Despite its claim, the Houthis failed to strike Israel, with the Israeli Air Force intercepting an incoming ballistic missile with its Arrow 3 surface-to-air capability beyond the country's territorial airspace. Separately, in addition to the Iran-directed attack toward Israel, the Houthis claimed an attack against U.S. commercial and naval assets. In response to this attack, U.S. Central Command launched a joint aerial strike with their British counterparts against Houthi targets, targeting key command and control facility operating by Iran-backed Houthis within Houthi-controlled territory in Sana'a, which is the capital of Yemen. According to a CENTCOM statement, the targeted facility was a hub for coordinating Houthi operations, such as attacks against U.S. Navy warships and merchant vessels in the southern Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. The statement further stressed that the strike reflects CENTCOM's ongoing commitment to protect U.S. and coalition personnel, regional partners, and international shipping. Shifting gears to Ankara, where Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan hosted European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, during the course of which he stressed his expectation from the European Union to diversify its annual funding for Syrians in Turkey, stressing also the need for Europe to fund the return of Syrians to their homeland.
Bugünkü istişarelerimizde Suriye sahasındaki son gelişmeleri detaylıca ele aldık. Suriye'nin egemenliği ile toprak bütünlüğünün muhafazası başta olmak üzere katılımcı bir idarenin tesisi noktasında hemfikir olduğumuzu gördüm. Birliğin ülkemizin yükünü hafifletmek amacıyla sağladığı desteği gönüllü geri dönüşleri kolaylaştırmak için çeşitlendirilmesini bekliyoruz. Bu desteğin Suriye'de temel altyapı yatırımlarını içerecek şekilde orta ve uzun vadeli, kapsamlı ve sürdürülebilir olması çok mühimdir.
President von der Leyen initially highlighted the vast contributions that European taxpayers have made for Syrians that had fled the Assad regime since 2011, while further highlighting a new financial package of an additional €1 billion that will be earmarked for Syrians in Turkey.
Since 2011, our annual Syria conferences have mobilized over €33 billion, including $1.7 billion in humanitarian aid, and we must continue this support. We must continue this support with a new focus on reconstruction. This will be a step-for-step approach, and we would need to start a discussion on sanctions reliefs, but this can only happen if real progress on a peaceful transition is seen on the ground. I am very pleased to announce today that an additional €1 billion for 2024 is on its way. This will support, among others, healthcare and education of refugees in Turkey. It will continue to contribute to migration and border management, including voluntary returns to Syrian refugees. And as things evolve on the ground, we can adapt this €1 billion to the new needs that might occur in Syria.
Despite the fact that the Al-Qaeda-linked Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is designated by the European Union as a terrorist organization, President von der Leyen acknowledged that Brussels is now stepping up direct engagement with the group as it continues to consolidate its power in Damascus.
Indeed, we have always maintained our presence in Syria to support those in need, while respecting the principle no contact, no cooperation, no funding to the Assad regime. But now we have to step up and continue our direct engagement with HTS and other factions.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to initially highlight a milestone for TV7 Israel News, as today we broadcast episode 3400. With that, I would like to thank all of you who stand in support of TV7 Israel, both in prayer and finance. Since TV7 Israel is exclusively donation-based, your support is vital for our continued operations here in Jerusalem. Therefore, if you're blessed by our productions, please consider making a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, I would like to also encourage you, as ever, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Jonathan Hessen wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we will see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.